Bussie Awosanya is a proven and influential leader in both her professional career with over 20 years experience in business analysis, project management, technology, and in Christian and youth ministry. Bussie's international work experience spans across financial services, consultancy, education, and government, with achievements evidenced by her change management in organization through the use of strategic and change management processes. Bussie is passionate about impacting transformational change and teaching of young adults and youth to help them fulfill their purpose in life. Bussie is happily married with 3 children. Please give a rousing thrive welcome to Bussie Awosanya.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. And I want to use this opportunity to appreciate, the missionary for this, our own Pastor Liz, and everyone that has, worked in the background to make this a huge success. To start with, it's going to be a bit of a disclaimer. This is a research I've done on my own. I've gone out there to do a bit of research and just to help us to understand the times we are in. With the pandemic happening, everyone had to start using the digital space to home train our children, even for our own work in the workspace, in our businesses. So what I'm going to do this afternoon is just to give us a background about what has happened from last year, to be precise, from March when the lockdown happened, and how our life changed, how our mindset actually changed from being able to have access to things physically, but not having them in the digital space. So it's going to be based on, all the research I've done, or my experience in the place of work, delivering digital spaces, delivering digital products and services in the government parastatals where I work on. So just let me share my screen and then I will take it from there. Can we see my screen very well? Right. Okay. So in March 2020, there was a huge pandemic, which is still happening, whether we like it or not. And it had a huge impact on all our life as individuals. So our work life was impacted. People lost job. Financial security was not really out there for people because they were losing their job. I'm glad that the two speakers that have spoken earlier, talking about our portfolio in building our financials financially up, and also monetizing, our gifts can also give us a leverage in the situation of things that have happened from the last 1 year. With the rates at which we were working at that point in time, our workload and our work-life balances was really impacted. We're not taking enough break. We've all been sitting down here on Zoom for the past 2 hours now. But luckily we've been able to have comfort break in between, because as human beings, we are supposed to have a bit of blinking of our eyes when we are on the screen for so long. For every 1 hour, you need to have a 5 minutes of blinking of your eyes so that you don't damage your eyes, while you are there. Our health and well-being was really, really impacted. People were not taking enough work. Mental health issues were, on the rise, and a lot of people were rising income protection. There was a rise in people taking income protection. That's the impact of COVID, on us as individuals from the past 1 year. And what happened in the digital space? What was the change that we noticed? Even businesses could not move as they wanted to. They had to change their business model. They had to make sure their market is now more viable. People are having access to their market rather than the way people used to have access to it from what was happening. So a two organization come to mind for me, for us to speak on. One of them we are using currently, which is Zoom, and the second one is Amazon. Zoom initially was built as an organization just for internal use, not for external consumption. But when COVID came in, we all went on Zoom. Even currently, we are on Zoom using for this platform we are on now for this conference. People started using Zoom for meetings in the offices, even for training their children in school. Schools went on Zoom because it was lockdown. We couldn't move out. We couldn't move as we expected. And from April 2020 up until today, Zoom recorded that they have 300 million daily meetings participants. And before then, it was just 10 million people that were logging on to Zoom. But when COVID started, the increase came up and they needed to also move on their business model because security was not really well firm at the point when everything was happening in the COVID space. But they understood that they needed to make changes and they needed to make sure people have access to that platform. If you remember before COVID started, we were all using Skype so much more than Zoom. But Zoom leveraged on the situation of things and increased their market space. And by the quarter of 2020, April, they reported an increase in about 2.82 million profits as an organization. Another organization that comes to mind for all of us is Amazon. Amazon became our marketplace from groceries to even everything we needed, nose masks, face masks, everyone was going on Amazon at that point in time to get what they needed. According to Amazon, by the end of July 2020, their quarterly profit was about $5.2 billion, which was 3.952 pounds sterling, compared to what they made in that period of time in April 2019, which was half of what they made in 2020. And they also created about 175,000 jobs worldwide. My own junior brother was one of them. He got a role in Amazon during the lockdown that moved him out of the country, Nigeria, to islands today. So you could imagine what the digital space did and changed our mindset from April last year up until now. So I'm just using this opportunity to synthesize to us that whether we like it or not, we have to embrace the digital space. We have to understand what is happening in the digital space so that we could leverage to market ourselves out there. I know Grace was mentioning about us branding ourselves, marketing what we have. So how do people have access to what products and services we are trying to have access to, or we are trying to produce if we are not in the digital space? So I would give us an understanding of what digital transformation means and where that is what we are speaking about this afternoon. According to IT Gartner, which is a blog in IT, it says business transformation is the process of exploiting digital technologies and supporting capabilities to create a robust new digital business. So our business world is changing. And also from an article which I read, organizational change is the foundation of digital business transformation. And the last description of what business digital transformation means is from a lecturer in MIT. And it says turning technology into business transformation. Digital transformation marks a radical rethinking of how organization uses technology, people, and processes to fundamentally change their business performance. Without digital technology, without digital transformation, businesses cannot move from one level to the other, and especially if you want people to have access to what you are producing. Without digital technology or digital transformation, your business will not be seen. The product you are trying to sell will not be able to reach a wide community or a wide space. So digital transformation has two synergies to it. There's what we call digitalization and digitization. Digitization means converting information into a digital format, while digitalization is the processing of leveraging that digitization to improve your business process. So these two work hand in hand to produce what we call a digital transformation. Digital transformation has changed its expectations within a period of time. It's always been out there, it's been thrown out there. Everybody says, oh, I'm in the digital space. What does this actually mean? Digital transformation, it goes back to the 1940s when individual could understand what is happening in the IT world and is driven by information technology. The rise in the use of social platforms, smart devices like our phone, our wristwatches has made the way in which customers are being communicated to shift in the business world. And even in the supermarkets right now, we've got self-service compartment, we've got online payments, online e-commerce and web-based points for sales increase. So this is all informed through digital transformation. And what are the drivers of digital transformation? What drives digital transformation? I've been able to put a diagram here together to help us understand what drives digital transformation. The first thing is your customer experience. Who are you trying to deliver your product and services to? And what is the niche you are creating with them? What experience do you want your customers to have when they access your product or services? And how do you want to sell it to them? Are you thinking about your customer journey or customer experience? Every one of us have access to a digital product one way or the other. Let me give you a typical example: your bank statement or your bank apps. When you go on your app and you are trying to navigate and it's not a seamless journey for you, you can even say, I'm changing my bank right now. So every organization is thinking about their customer experience. So you have user researchers that go out there and test products and services with customers, and they bring that feedback home and they use that to make improvements on any product or services they are trying to sell out to their customers. You also want to make sure that your customer experience your product multi-channel, be it on their laptop, on their phone, or anywhere they are easily, they could access, your products. You are not restricting it to just one channel. You are marketing your product digitally so that everyone has, access to what you're selling. There are adverts, and then even search engine optimization, which means that when people put keywords about your product and services online, you pop up on Google to be the first, businesses that is selling this. Also, what are the features and functionalities that sell you to various demographics? I know, Grace mentioned about avatar. In the product development stage, we call it, a persona. Persona can be somebody's way or attitude or behavior in which they receive a product or services. So if you are delivering a product or service in the business world on a digital space, you need to have different personas, and then you need to have different demographics of who will be accessing your product and services. And the second thing you need to do, which are your drivers of, of digital transformation, is your product and service innovation. Things are changing, and you need to make sure you are moving with how the world is changing and how people are accessing your product. How connected are your product and services to other systems? Currently, Amazon, I will give an example of Amazon. You can have an Amazon account. You could also have Amazon Prime, that's Alexia. So there's co-creation of product and services on an Amazon platform alone. So you can be on Amazon, you have access to their television or streaming services. You are buying most of your product and services on it. And there's a smart speaker also that is developed by Amazon. So it's a business model currently in the digital world for most of these organizations to be co-creating product and services. And also, there's need for you to have a user-centric platform or channel. So your users is very critical in what you are developing. How are my users going to access my channel? And what products would they be able to, co-located on that channel? And then the third drivers for digital transformation is distribution, marketing, and sales. How easy are people to have access to whatever product is being sold on it, on your platform? Remember, what I'm just trying to explain to us this afternoon is what happens in the digital world, how digital product and services evolve. So if anyone wants to, start running a business and they feel because they want to have assets, they want people to have access to their product worldwide. They don't want to restrict, the people that will be having access to their product. You need to move towards the digital space. And the fourth option is the fourth driver of digital transformation is your digital fulfillment. How are people being able to be serviced? What administration is behind what you are driving? How do I know that when I come on your website, my credit card details is not going to be out there for fraudsters to have access to? So you put firewalls, which are like, it's like a fencing. in the IT world. You put firewalls into your payment portal so that when people come online or when people come using your platform to engage or to buy your product and services, they are not compromised. And the fifth driver is the risk optimization. How are you improving your customer insights? What data is available for you to use to improve on the product and services you are delivering to your customers? And how easy are you to profile your customers to make sure you are delivering the exact product and services they need? Remember, sometimes when you buy products on Amazon, Amazon will also tell you people that bought this product also bought these other options. And sometimes when you are trying to just check out and you feel, okay, I need this product too, and you put it on, it's based on your user activity on Amazon, and it helps them to also understand your attitude to products and services that they advertise. And lastly is corporate control. How is the organization working in real-time information management, and how integrated are they to third party? Because you can't just stand on your own in the digital space, because the digital space is sort of in the cloud. It's easier for you to micromanage and also put other organizations with you and work together. So what makes the overview of digital marketing? What is the overview? Initially, I've mentioned your customer experience. How do customers perceive you as an individual or as a product that they are having access to or a services they are having access to? Who are your target audience? Those are the kind of questions you start asking yourself. So when I want to sell this product, who are the people I'm selling to? Are they age 18 to 30? Is it people that are older? What is that service I'm trying to, sell to them? How do I want them to navigate, my services and my product? What is the journey like end to end? You put together scenarios and you ask yourself, in case this happens, what should be the next line of action? So you answer all those questions before you put out the product out for easy customer access. And one thing you also need to do is to make sure there's no rework. So one, I have access to, I will give a typical example. I go on a website and I'm trying to, let's say Pizza Hut, for example, and I'm trying to order pizza and I pick everything I need, and it's not just seamless for me. It's very difficult for me to now check out and then get it sent to me. I would not enjoy that experience, and I would not want to go back to that website again. So as a product that you are, as a product owner that is trying to sell the product on the digital space, the customer experience is critical. Your customer journey is very important. In fact, your customer journey has to be mapped end to end. And when you see there's a bottleneck in that journey, you try to remove it before you launch the product into the market for anyone to use. And that is what digital space do for us. That is the leverage we have when it comes to digital. In the space of project management or in the space of product development, there used to be there are two ways in which a product can be developed into the market. We've got what we call a waterfall approach, which is from the beginning to the end, you are not testing that product with anyone, and you just deliver it and turn it into the market. And the users will not, they will not receive it properly. They will not receive it, they will not welcome the product because you didn't get their buying while you were doing the development. But we are using a approach currently, and which is called the agile way of developing products and services. In the space of using the agile approach to develop products and services, you are going into the market, you are testing with the users, and you bring that. When the users give you updates, you make sure you correct it, you get their feedback, and you use that to roll out your product. You look at their behavior, you look at what will speak to the user so much, because what happens is if you deliver a product or you roll out a product and service and no one is buying it, that is a serious waste on the time and resources that has been put into it. Also, digital transformation brings about operational excellence. You ask yourself, are you built for operational excellence? What sort of people, process, and technology do you need to make these products acceptable in the market? Does the person have the expert knowledge? Have they done it before? What are they bringing to the table to tell you that they've delivered this in a previous place of work? What processes do you need to put in place? And what technologies would drive, this development for you? The third one is your data-based insights. Data is thrown all around in the age we are in now. It's so important for any digital transformation to understand that the data they have about their customers will help them to deliver the products and services for this customer. You can't go into the digital world without metrics. We have what we call management information, business intelligence. Without you understanding what your customers need, you won't know what you're going to be able to build or you are able to deliver to them in the digital space. So everyone needs to have a good mechanism of capturing their data, of capturing the behavior of their customers. And this is easy in the world of digital transformation because as you are using any of the apps at all, most of the time currently, you have to put in your details. That's why you get pop-up adverts that tells you, will you be interested in this? Or you are playing a YouTube video and something just pop up and you're seeing adverts in between. It's all to get, based on what people do, based on the searches. It's so interesting that based on the searches you do on your phone, you get adverts in relation to that kind of product coming and popping up to you. And that's in the space of what data does. Data drives the insight. The data actually helps you to understand your customer, and it also helps to rethink your business strategies. It helps you in making decisions on return on investment. Digital transformation allows collaboration. With digital transformation, you have teams who have different experience working together to deliver a common goal. There's greater collaboration within team members. It gives them opportunity for leadership, even for the members of the team. It gives people to align with a common purpose and to run a seamless transition from maybe an a very, to a technical, maybe from something that is waterfally or something that is local to a very seamless and technical product development for them. And it also improves agility and information, innovation. With digital transformation, agility of a product is improved, innovations come easily. It's been tested and proven that with digital transformation initiative, 68% of companies rank agility as more of their own top three consideration because you are building products, you are looking at the user experience, and you are making improvements. There's a lot of collaboration. Team members are sitting together, they are co-located together, and they are looking at what the experience of customers are. They are looking at the feedback from customers. They are looking at the user researches. They are looking at how the product is being tested and received in the market. And it's
That
easy
is
to
for the
continue,
pure editing for me.
helps
Only
organization to
because
continuously
it is
improve
automated.
themselves. I
But
work
other
with the
than just
government,
feeding information,
and most of the products we
we
develop,
put
and services
equipment,
that the
put the
government
fund
develop.
into it.
Somebody,
And so my sales funnel is kind of
there's someone in the background. Okay, thank you. So I work with the government, and most of the the services that the government turn out is basically driven by policies. So when a policy comes up, we see changes on gov.uk. You see a new product, just services just popping up on gov.uk, and you're asking yourself, are they talking to people? Yet they are really doing a lot of user research. People are talking, they are asking questions, they are seeking people's opinion, they are engaging, they are doing a lot of communication. You drive on the bridge, the Dartford charge bridge we have here. You see it and it's telling you need to pay at a certain point in time. There's a cutoff time to pay. If you don't do it, you get charged more and you pay more. So those are some of the drivers of digital transformation. You see the changes, you see the experience of customer, and you make sure the government currently is making sure they are producing products and services that meet the need of their users. So what are the benefits of digital transformation? Why should we think of digital transformation? How does it help us as individuals? And how will it help you in the business world. Let's say you're running your business, you want to sell your product, you want to go into this property business that Caroline has mentioned, or you want to monetize yourself, and it will be good. You want to monetize what you have, the gifts that you have, that niche. You want to monetize what you have in your hand. What will be the benefit for you? There's always a fast resolution of problem, because you will know that your customers that are not accessing your service, there will be a breakdown. And because there's a breakdown, there's easy fix. You have an easy fix. There's what we call backup disaster recovery. So if there's an issue, there's always a backup to kickstart the system, let the system keep on working so that the customers don't have a cut-off mark. Many of the systems you see, there's a time for reboots. There's a time where all the systems are down. For example, the ATM, the cash machine where we go to. And then we see it as if, oh, it's always running 24 hours. But there's always a cutoff time where there's need for recharge, there's need for it to reboot itself, because remember, it's a system. But because of the interlink with digital space, it's easy for you to pick up when things are not working, and it's easier for whoever is in charge to resolve the issue. Then the scale in response to demand, because this is the digital space. If the system is subject to any spike in demand, the business model around the supply chain that we are even seeing currently, you'll be surprised that in ASDA, on their tills, they've got a supply chain mechanism to big organizations like Procter and Gamble. So when, let's say, the sanitary towel is going down on the aisle, the supply chain system that has an interlink already knows that, okay, it's going down. We need to supply at so time. That's what the digital space has helped us to do. It helps people to manage, their supply chain properly. It helps business organization, business model, big chain supermarkets to monitor their supply chain. And then it's cost effective. There are a lot of business owners that don't have a shop. All they have is their iPhone or any phone they have at all, and they have a page on Facebook or Instagram. And because they don't need to have a space, when someone sees the product that they like, you just need to exchange information with them and they will deliver it to your door. So it's saving people from overhead, it's saving people from having a room or a shop where they are keeping this product and that are not selling. So you just need to advertise it on the platform, and you will see people that will engage with you, and then it's cost effective for them. And it drives online business results because it's on a digital platform. You are seeing your competitors, because whatever product or service you are selling, other people are doing it. You're seeing your competitors, you are seeing how you can improve on it. You are learning, and you are delivering products that meet your users' need. And there's always time for marketing on a digital transformation space. You market your product as you wish. You do it to the different demographics you are trying to sell the products to, and greater customer experience. This is what digital transformation does for you. It allows you to have customers that enjoys your product, and you learn from their needs, and you make changes that helps them to continue buying your product and services. Then it's always available for rapid and continuous improvement. We believe so much in this, in the knowledge of you continuously improving your product and services, because you want someone to buy them, you want someone to have access to them, you want to make sure people are accessing what you are buying. And lastly, in digital transformation, product and services are always user-centric. So the user is the bedrock of this development. You are not just developing the product for yourself, for your consumption, or you want your users to be able to use them as they need. And you always, taking into consideration the feedback from these users. So how can we improve our digital transformation knowledge, in career, for people that are not into business, but they want to understand what it means to be digital savvy or to be IT savvy? There are a lot of courses on Microsoft Word. I cannot list them, But if you search on Microsoft, you'll be able to see a lot of digital program or digital courses that will just, open your mind to what it means, just a bit of introduction of what is digital transformation and how it could help you in your places of work, even on LinkedIn. And the last one is agile development. Like I mentioned earlier, in the space of agile development, you are going to, it's a proper way of digital transformation or digital technology. So these are the three major, there are more than these. There are so many places out there. Udemy, you can click on Udemy and say, okay, I just need introduction into digital transformation, and you get, the learning and the help you need. And that's for your own personal growth. In this business world, I want to leverage this with the 7 P's of marketing. And at the center of it all is the target markets. So what are the steps you need to take for digital transformation to evolve in your business? Let's say you want to go into property business. What is the product you are selling? How have you designed that product? Who was the quality, the warranty, the branding, the niche? Who are you speaking to with your product? So you need to look at that product properly because you are using a digital channel right now. So you need to be putting out the right information out there for your users or for your customers to see, and that will help them. And where are the places in which you are selling these products? What channels, what platform, what sales support are you given? What are the segmented channel for people to have access to your products and services, and the price? I remember, that was one of the questions that Temi asked initially, that how do you set your price? And Grace mentioned it, for us. But how do you set the price of your products? What payment method will people have access to? Is it secured? And what discount are you going to be giving them? Promotion, what are the loyalty schemes, what ads, what discount, giveaway, you go on social media platform, people are doing giveaway, and it attracts people, to buy their products. Because if someone can be giving out, and if they are, it makes you feel that, okay, this is someone I want to really have, this, I want to be interested in buying their product and services. And I also talked about the physical evidence. What's your packaging? How are you packaging your product for people to have access to it? What's the online experience? What's the look and feel? What attracts people to the product or the service you are selling? And who are the people that are working with you? Are you making sure they are well remunerated? The personals, what collaborations are you working on? A lot of people are making money on social media just to be influencers. They just go out there. Some people are very good at dressing. They will dress up, they will take pictures, and people see the way they wear those dresses, and they will say, okay, can you wear my dress? Brand goes to them and says, can you wear my dress? So collaboration takes place, and that's what happened in the digital space. And what are your processes? What features, what functionalities are available for people? And the feedback also. Are you taking the feedback seriously? How is your product being taken? What feedback do your customers give you in order to improve on your products? So I just want to share this diagram for us to see. It's not my own. And I've put the reference there for us to understand. And it's Amazon again. Amazon as an organization is just for us to have that blue sky thinking of how Amazon run and the framework in which they use to deliver their product and services to customer. They use a framework called RAISE, which means reach, act, convert, and engage. So Amazon reaches out to you. Every one of us have an Amazon account. If I want to ask us in this, I'm not trying to advertise Amazon, but I just want us to understand that their business model helps in the digital space. And if you look back for the last 1 year, we all did a lot of consumption of our product and services through them. It's so easy because it's on your phone, it's on your laptop. It's easy for you to just have access to it. So Amazon optimizes its search engine. So you put a keyword on Google right now. Let's say you just put ear clips. The first organization that will come to you will be Amazon. They've put a lot of effort into making this happen, so that when you put a keyword in and you search for a product, they become the first marketplace for you to get that product. And that's what we call search engine optimization. And you put in that effort as a business. If you want people to have access to your product. You pay for it. You can do it for a period of time. Maybe it depends on how long you want to be known. It depends on you as a business owner. So with that reach, you are able to search for them and you are able to see them as the best place to buy your product and services. And act means, with their simple experience of testing and learning, they're able to create products for you and you are able to access those products. And converts, which is the third framework which they use, is they use personalization to make relevant recommendation to a clear checkout process. When you are trying to check out from the products and services you bought from them, they also recommend different products to you. And before you check out, most of the time, you click on those products and you pay for them more. They always engage on their customer-centric culture to delight their customers. They don't joke with their customer experience or customer information, and that's helped to put them out there for everyone. So it's just a bit of for us to understand that it's doable with the digital technology. If you want to go into business, you have to think of the digital space, because COVID taught us that we have to move from being in our comfort zone into the digital space. Last year, a lot of people had parties on Zoom. Weddings were on Zoom. Zoom initially created its platform just for its own use within his organization, because as an individual, he likes to have his meetings on Zoom, on a video conferencing platform. And he never knew that it was going to blow. But the experience we've all had in the 1 year taught us that we need to move stuff and our life in a way in the digital space if we want to reach out to a lot of clientele. I just want to end by just giving us insight into some, the key trends in digital transformation. This is just my own first five, and I know that it's more than this, but in the digital technology world or in digital transformation world, a lot of things are happening. The 5G came out last year, and there was a lot of conspiracy theory around 5G being, oh, that means the devil is coming. But because of what we call continuous improvement, because of changes, because of the level and the volume of data that we are being transported for each and every one of us currently, there's needs to improve on the size and the capacity of data that is being shared. And that was why the 5G technology was introduced. 5G technology makes it easier for us to transmit data easily, seamlessly, and the weight of the data can go through. By the end of this year in this country, autonomous vehicle will be introduced. These are self-driven vehicles on certain roads in some certain places in the country. Ford is going to deliver some of the vehicles. I used to work for DVLA, so it's one of the projects I worked on that we're going to start having vehicles that are self-driven. We need to be ready for it. We need to accept it. It's going to happen. So you can be in your vehicle, you are having your meetings, you are writing your reports, and the vehicle is driving itself from London to Birmingham. So data is a big word. It's huge. But data helps us to understand our users. It helps us to understand our environment. It helps us to understand our community. Actually, data drives technological innovation. Without data, we cannot really move forward. And that is why in the last 2-3 years, the government was talking about GDPR. And you collect customer data for the reason in which you want to use them for. If you don't use them for the reason you've collected them for, you could be sued, you could be slammed. So a lot of protection came into data. Data helps you to decide whatever you want to do. And that's why technology is also data-driven. It also helps you to understand your users. It helps you understand your customer. It helps you to understand how to deliver your product and services. And the interesting one for me, because my background is computer science, is artificial intelligence or machine learning. Artificial intelligence is an area in computer science where you build smart machines to perform tasks that is being done by human beings. So we are seeing surgery being performed now by machines without the intervention of doctors. And we are going to see a lot of all this coming up. And we need to embrace it. We need to know that, technology is going to be moving us to the next level, whether we just need to embrace it so that we are not left behind. So this, for me, this afternoon is just to sensitize us to know that, yeah, there will be the digital transformation is happening. We need it to move forward, and we don't need to shy away from it.
You are going out
We
of
need
church.
to embrace it. We need to read up and look at what is happening around us. And if we want to monetize our gifts, if we want to go into the property business portfolio, we need to be leveraging the digital space to market ourselves. Thank you very much. I stop there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You dropped a lot of gems as well. Even when I was taking notes, I realized that there's been a synergy between all three speakers. So I remember our first speaker spoke about a success mindset. Our second speaker spoke about monetizing your gift, and you have spoken about how to scale. And that is really important because sometimes we only see our gifts in a small, from a small perspective. But when we scale, you've mentioned all of these things about digital transformation that are really important. So for example, understanding, using data that you've collected to understand your customer. And all of these big companies do it, and they spend so much money into trying to understand their customer. Even where I work, they try and do that. So I think that you have, and we as small business owners, we can still do what they're doing. We can mimic it on a smaller scale to understand our customers even more, and their behaviors and their thoughts and feelings, because as your business grows, these are the type of things, and we all want our businesses to grow. We all want what we're doing to increase, but in order to increase properly, we need to take into account these things that Sister Bussie has spoken about today. So thank you so much for today. I think it's been great. I'm writing everything down, and I'm thinking, wow, this has just been an amazing topic to cover, because I love data anyway. But I've got a few questions. I know that time is running out, so I'm going to limit the questions that I throw to you. But one of the questions that I've got, which I think is a good question, is how does Google Analytics help me to know my potential customers and promote my business?
Yeah, thank you for that question. You know, Google Analytics is a product that tells you a little bit of what your business is all about. It's information. It's you're gonna be able to interpret it. And if you don't have the knowledge of that interpretation, you could seek for help. You could seek for someone that has the expertise to explain what it is for you and break it down. Because it's important for you to understand what Google is collecting about you, what the insights that people have for your business. Because it's when you get that information that you now work on any recommendation that you see there as, you know, improvement, or you see there as, you know, not up to the scale where you want your business to get to. So when you get the information and you don't have the expertise to understand it, I'm not an expert in that area too. But there are people that are experts. You can look for them and they will help you to interpret it. And the good thing is, when you get such interpretation, is to act on it. Don't just shove it somewhere, because like you mentioned, I'm working on data currently where I'm working. I work for government, but I'm doing data currently. And the data is so interesting. It's because we are moving away from EU. We are going to be standing on our own. And the data I'm working on currently is just about customers, farmers in this country. So what is going to be happening to our farmers going forward? What's going to be happening to our animals going forward? It's interesting to understand that initially, because of the EU, when we were all together, they had access to all our data. And because we are moving away from them now, we need to be taking those data back. And we call the name delinking, because we are moving away from them. So our data is going to be depleting. The information we have about our farmers, our animals in this country is going to be depleted. So we need to start collating data now for them. That's currently what I'm working on. It looks simple. It looks so, how could we, what's so important about animals? But that's what it is. So data drives, you know, innovation. Data drives, you know, the change you need to make. And the only thing that is constant in life is change. And your data gives you information to act upon, really.
Thank you. Thank you for that. One of the other questions is, I just sell my goods by taking orders through telephone calls, texts, and WhatsApp. So, when your business is in a really infancy stage and you're just getting your customers through text and WhatsApp, how do you go digital with your business at that infancy? So rather than just waiting until it increases, you can actually start to make it digital when it's really, really new. So how would you suggest this lady goes about that?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. I talked about you understanding your user, then you develop a product or service that meets your user's need. If currently what you are doing is meeting their need, you now need to be scaling up. But you don't need to do everything at a go. You need to have like a backlog, a list of to do. So I want to move into Facebook. So when I move into Facebook, do you have the capacity to meet the needs of the users you'll be getting on Facebook? Because it's going to be wider now. Have you got someone that your user is like your bedrock in the business world? Your user makes you or mar you. So are you ready? Do you have that capacity to be able to pick their messages and respond to them? Because now you are using text, you are using WhatsApp to respond to them. You don't miss out on them. So you need to make yourself, you need to think about the process you're going to go into. What is the process? What are the steps that I need to put into consideration to make sure that when I scale up, maybe onto Instagram, or I'm scaling up onto Facebook, when a user is asking for information, I'm there to be responding. Then when you've seen your capability, it's like you are doing your capability management. You've seen what features you want to move into. You've seen your functionality. When I talked about the 7 P's of marketing, you need to go and look at them one after the other and put pointers on each of them and ask yourself, where am I on these 7 P's of marketing? And if I'm going on this platform, can I meet my users' need on these 7 P's of marketing? And if you are still struggling on your process, maybe on your people or on your technology, I would say just take your time, get those capabilities sorted before you move on. But there's nothing wrong in you scaling up little by little, because there's what we call continuous improvement. When you scale up and you notice what is your downtime, you improve on it and you roll it out. You see your reception of that product or that service from your customer, you make improvements, you change it, and then you go back to the market. But until you test it, you will not know how your customers will receive it. It's easier, you must test. And that is what all these big organizations do. They test, they learn from it, and they improve. You have to do those 3 things.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm just conscious of time, so I don't think we'll take any more questions.